All right. Um, so we got the Big Ten schedules that came out, and the same old people chirping the same old things. SEC people, basically saying, IU's schedule is cupcakes. Okay, let's look at it here. North Texas almost made the playoffs. They played in a bowl game. Howard, yeah, it's a cupcake. Western Kentucky, I'm not sure. I don't think they're too good, but they're obviously a lower budget team. That's two cupcakes. North Texas played in a bowl game, so Northwestern played in a bowl game. I believe they won. I don't remember. Rutgers, yeah, they're pretty weak. It's three cupcakes. Nebraska played in a bowl game. I think, pretty sure. Ohio State obviously played in a bowl game. Michigan played in a bowl game. Minnesota played in a bowl game. South University of USC, Southern California, played in a bowl game, even though they lost. USC supposedly has one of the top rated recruiting class coming in. Washington played in a bowl game, won their bowl game. And Purdue, yeah, they're pretty weak. So that's four cupcakes and like 7 or 8 teams that played in bowl games. 7 or 8 teams that played in a bowl game this year, and everybody's calling them cupcakes. I don't know. I mean, the reason why I would even say anything is because this is why the SEC had 5 teams in the playoffs. 5 teams, and their bowl record was garbage. Because all they do is talk about the schedules and how weak other conferences are compared to theirs, which there's no basis for that. It's all based on rankings that are opinion. And as we've seen, the opinion was wrong 2 years in a row. Probably 3 years in a row. And that's what they do. That's what they do. They get in the media's heads and by saying everybody else is cupcakes and nobody's even close to the SEC. And for 3 years now, no SEC team's been in the championship game. And every year, these SEC teams get ranked like they're like they're the best conference, and they get more teams into the playoffs, which they didn't deserve as many teams in the playoffs this year. I mean, if Alabama was in the SEC title game and got absolutely humiliated in their bowl game, what's that? I mean, does that not say something, And again, I wouldn't even say anything if it wasn't for the fact that this is why they get so many teams in there, because all these talking heads, whether it's Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler or whoever else, all these talk shows, sports radio talk shows, always saying how great the SEC is, only to watch them lose. NIL changed the game. If you can't handle that, I don't know what to tell you, but it's almost to the point to where there's no way you can have a conversation with them because they're gonna say, uh, "Well, we didn't care in the bowl games. We had opt outs and injuries, and yet every team they play in the bowl games that aren't the playoffs also has opt outs and injuries." I mean, it's not an SEC phenomenon that players opt out. In fact, some of the articles I've read, uh, the team the SEC was playing had more opt outs and injuries than the SEC team. And then it's just like, if you say that, it just gets ignored. And then you can say, well, we don't care. If they'll say, well, if it's not the college football playoffs and it's just a bowl game, nobody really cares about that. So that's their other excuse. And so there is no winning in this conversation. So it's almost like, hell, I shouldn't even be a college football fan. I shouldn't follow it as a hobby anymore because it's a crime. Just like a lot of other things. It's like, I remember being a fan of a football program, and then some of the things changed around the program, and they weren't doing things like the right way, and they just hold you hostage. And it's like, my buddy, he's a diehard Colts fan, and basically the ownership and GM have held the fan base hostage over the last 10 years or something, ruined careers, and drafted Anthony Richardson only for, I mean, I don't know, they gave him like $44 million, and it's just like, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't finished a season yet healthy. So yeah, it's almost like, why be a fan? Because you already know the SEC is going to have a bunch of highly rated teams next year, and they're going to say, well, we had much tougher schedule because we played 4 top 10 teams, yet Indiana goes undefeated and plays 4 or 5 top 10 teams by the end of the year, and you don't hear anything. In fact, I've even saw people say, well, if Indiana had to play an SEC schedule, they would have had at least 2 losses. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. It's not even worth it, because you want to take part in something that's pure. Sports is like supposed to be pure and hard work, effort, and it's just not that. It's not that, because you're going to get a bunch of highly rated teams that aren't as good as their ratings, and that's the way it's been. And everybody knows. And I've heard sports guys that have talk shows on here say the same thing. They'll say, you already know that come next year there'll be 6, 7 SEC teams in the top 20. You watch, and it will be. That'll be the truth. But I don't know. Why bother anymore, really? I don't know. It sucks.